Hello. I'm in a very festive sweater today for many reasons, but I'm kind of obsessed with Christmas. I kind of said that these videos would be like haphazard and they would come when I had inspiration. And inspiration came to me this morning at 7 a.m. as a message in my LinkedIn inbox. That's a conversation that I was having back and forth with another industry friend. Hi, Dean. And he was very gracious to tag me in Kyle Christensen's accountability challenge. And I just sent him a private message to say thank you. But also to say, like, I didn't throw my name into the ring because I didn't really feel like I deserved it. And I know somebody's going to be like, Amanda, stop being so hard on yourself. Just just do it. Just do these things. And I really am a fan of doing a lot of things scared, even though I know it's scary to do them. It's what I've been trying to do all of 2024. But the thing that held me back in that was, and I kind of said it a couple times when I do these videos, like, when I talk about something, it is not as an expert. It is not as somebody who is like, I got this shit down. I've mastered it. This is who I am. These are things I care about. These are things that I think are important, and things that I'm working on, but I'm failing at regularly. And I think, I kind of hinted at it, but I think I really need to say that that whole idea of seeking not affirmation, but maybe validation or whatever for doing anything that I've done this year. One, isn't in my nature. I don't handle compliments or recognition very well. But also, that like my ego wants to be like quietly right for myself, not for the world to know it, not for the world to shower me with praise or whatever. And if I were to put myself out there for anything, I'm very much a person who wants to feel like I really deserved it. Like I really embodied that thing and, that's me to a T. It's the thing that pushes me over the edge. But this word accountability, like at its basest, if I was going to read the definition off the internet, which I'm going to do right now, it's to be responsible for and explain your actions, to be able to justify them and kind of own up to it. And I guess if I'm, saying what I'm saying now, I'm doing that. But for me, that's not really what it means. I mean, like, I can look at a dictionary and say, oh yeah, that's what somebody else defines it as. When I think of accountability, I think, okay, I've acknowledged this is a thing, I'm working on it, but then I'm also, not repeating the mistake. And unfortunately for me, one of the things that I found is that I've made the same mistake multiple times this year. And I've made the same mistake many, many, many times in my life. And I can't go back in time and I can't change that. I can only try to learn from it. And I kind of have to hope that it's one of these things that maybe like the bajillionth time that I do it, I'll get it. I'm hopeful. But the reality is that I wanted to come here and talk about it because I feel like it's that whole idea of what we put out there as highlights becomes part of the narrative. And, there may be people who have seen some of those mistakes and go, well, that's not what she's like in real life. And there might be some people who don't see those mistakes and think that this is the ideal to aspire to, or that there's something, super amazing about what I'm doing. But the reality is, like, we're all human. We all fall. We all stumble. We hope we're going to learn. We hope we're not going to hurt people. We hope that we're putting our best self forward. But sometimes we just don't. And I mean, you can apologize. You can try to work through it. You can try to learn from it. But it doesn't mean that it will change. It doesn't mean that you won't do the same thing again. And for me, one of the things that I really struggled with was allowing maybe other people's influence to make me, and I'm going to choose my words carefully, make me really reconsider my position, and when I say my position, like my viewpoint, my opinion, and have an effect on how I approach something or my intentions. Maybe I would come at something a little bit more scared because I was worried. And in doing so, I would have lost something that was key and core to who I am, because I would have set that aside in favor of someone else's opinion. Now, that might be a really weird thing for you to hear if you perceive me as someone who's confident. I can tell you, though, the only thing that I confidently am is wrong a lot. I love to share ideas. I love collaboration. I say a lot of my thoughts and ideas with the hope that somebody's going to give me their thoughts and ideas back so we can have a conversation about it and I can learn something new. But I've been wrong so much this year. And, I have had such amazing professional highs that for most of you who are watching this video, you probably go, what does she have to complain about? And that's not really what I want to get into in this video, because it's not really about that. But I do think that there is something about this highlight reel, this putting something perfect out there, that's really dangerous. I was in the Ninja, sorry, my face is itchy. I was in the Ninja Festivus celebration today, and it was really awesome to see. They had this contest that talked about like the challenges that you had and the feats of strength. And somebody, I can't remember for which one of the contests it was, disclosed that they had dealt with a mental health crisis, and they kind of shared their story a little bit, and it was really kind of inspiring to me to look at it and go, I think there's something so powerful about being vulnerable. And I've talked about vulnerability enough times, but am I really doing it if I'm not saying what I'm saying right now? It's kind of like you feel it, like it almost like it reinforces the imposter syndrome, right? I'll be straight up honest. When I was elected to the board of MSP Geek, I was over the moon. I'm very excited. I'm still excited to help and give back to the community. But I kind of was like, me? Like, is that, even when I was approached about interviewing, it was very like, do I deserve this? And I have cards on my desk, some really, really beautiful cards from my staff. Yes, I know I'm one of the names on the paycheck, but the words in these cards aren't something that I feel like were required. And they're so positive and so kind, and so detailed about, who I am as a person and what they appreciate about me. And I still look at it and I go, but I still know, that I failed in this area that you're talking about. So like, that part of me that was looking at this message from Dean and these kind words is very critical of myself, because I know the internal in my brain. I know what I've put out there. I know every aspect of the story that's mine to own, not somebody else's, but that's mine to own. And I know I could have done better. I know that I failed in the same place multiple times, and I know that I have a lot to do, but I'm just kind of also trying to have grace for myself and go, 2025 is a new year. And that the only thing that any of us can do when we face difficulties or when we go through something difficult in general, no matter what it might be, personal or professional, is to look at each day anew and say, well, the best way I could think of this is that there is always a chance to try again. And not even just in what you try to achieve in your career, but in how you treat the people around you, in the relationships and friendships that you have. No matter what you're tackling, there's always a chance for redemption. I mean, if you're a nerd or a geek, you probably love any number of sci-fi, anything, and there's always a redemption arc, right? So there can be a redemption arc for all of us, and personally for myself, that is one of the things I'm looking forward to for 2025. So as I close out this year, this is the thought I want to leave you with, is to be kind to yourself, and realize that other people might be struggling too, and the people that you idolize might also have strengths and challenges that they're dealing with that you'll never see. And the only way that we can all learn and be better and grow from that kind of knowledge is to share that with each other. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family this holiday season.